This video was created by VinylicPuma of VinylicPumaGaming.
You and I both know that there's some awful Seraph guns and weapons in Borderlands 2. The Retcher makes me want to vomit, the Seeker can't crit, the Patriot and the Actualizer can't hit the broadside of a barn, and the Devastator, well, let's just not talk about the Devastator. On a more positive note, I want to talk about the good Seraph guns and weapons that can be found throughout the campaign DLCs of Borderlands 2. Thankfully, it seems like each new campaign DLC brought us better and better Seraph weapons. These are the top 9 best Seraph guns and weapons in Borderlands 2. Number 9. The Seraphim. The Dahl Seraphim is the sister weapon to the legendary Dahl Varuk assault rifle from the vanilla game and is one of the Seraph weapons from Captain Scarlet and her Pirate's Booty DLC. The Seraphim sports high base damage for an assault rifle, which is roughly 3 times higher than a standard Dahl carbine. The Seraphim also spawns exclusively as a fire weapon and fires slow-moving projectiles, much like the pearlescent Stalker pistol. Unfortunately, like many of the Captain Scarlet Seraph weapons, the Seraphim can sometimes have bad accuracy if it spawns with the wrong weapon parts. The Seraphim is also limited to some degree, as it can only exist legitimately as a purely fire weapon, making it great against flesh enemies, but terrible against armored enemies like rovers. If you like assault rifles, it's worth picking up a Seraphim rifle if you've got enough Seraph crystals. Number 8. The Stinger. The Stinger is a Vladof Seraph pistol and is the sister weapon to the legendary Vladof Infinity pistol. While it doesn't have an infinite magazine, the Stinger stat-wise is slightly better than most Vladof pistols and has the ability to ricochet when fired at surfaces. Because the Stinger doesn't have an infinite magazine size or low capacity of infinity, it's more suited to Anarchy Gauge or a Money Shot Salvador because it's actually possible to fire that last shot. While it's not the best Seraph gun on this list, it's a great alternative to the Vladof Anarchist pistol. Number 7. The Florentine. The Florentine is an interesting Seraph weapon in that it doesn't have a legendary sister weapon and instead has a unique sister weapon, which is the unique Maliwan Chulane SMG. Now, both the Florentine and Chulane are slag/shock dual element weapons, and the difference between the two is that the Florentine fires an E-Tech SMG projectile, while the Chulane fires a standard projectile, while also simultaneously slagging the user. While the Florentine is a viable alternative to most plasma casters, I would still recommend using either a fire or corrosive plasma caster up against flesh or armored opponents respectively. If you want to pick up a Florentine, go buy one from the Seraph vendor in Flame Rock Refuge. Number 6. The Meteor Shower. The Meteor Shower is the sister grenade to the legendary Torg bonus package grenade mod. What's also interesting about the Meteor Shower is that it's debatably better than the bonus package. And of course, the reason for this is the number of child grenades on the Meteor Shower can vary between 10 to 12, while the bonus package can only vary between 8 to 10 child grenades. Of course, the trade-off with the Meteor Shower is that it takes slightly longer to deploy thanks to a higher deployment arc, meaning that the actual child grenades go up slightly higher than the bonus package, but of course the advantage to this is that you can cover a much larger radius. What's also a huge perk for the Meteor Shower is that you could simply buy it from the Seraph vendor in Torg's Campaign of Carnage DLC, and in my opinion, it's a lot easier to rack up 150 to 180 Seraph crystals or so from Pyro Pete than it is to get 600 or so Torg tokens to spend on a bonus package. Plus, if you get 600 or so Torg tokens, you'd probably rather buy an Unkempt Herald or a similar Torg weapon that's legendary. If you get a chance, definitely try to get the Meteor Shower. Number 5. The Ahab. The Ahab is the sister rocket launcher to the legendary Torg Nukem rocket launcher, and is also one of 2 Seraph rocket launchers featured in Captain Scarlet's DLC. The other, of course, being the error message, which should not drop. The Ahab is also the highest base damage Torg rocket launcher in Borderlands 2, and while I wouldn't recommend using it as your go-to rocket launcher for obtaining second wins, it works extremely well when paired with the Flacker to perform a passive weapon effects glitch. It's possible to significantly increase the damage of the Flacker by firing the Flacker and then quickly swapping to the Ahab. It's possible to obtain the Ahab in Ultimate Vault Hunter mode by killing Master Guy the Invincible in Hater's Folly. Number 4. The Omen. Like the Florentine, the Omen has a unique sister weapon, which is the unique Meteor Octo shotgun. Now, while the Omen is definitely better, both weapons have bullets that move in and out and kind of weave as they travel through the air. Unlike other E-Tech shotguns, the Omen costs 1 shotgun shell to fire, which makes it perfect for firing like a regular shotgun. So basically, if you have a magazine size of 10, you're going to get all 10 shots, where normally with a regular E-Tech shotgun, you're going to get 5 shots. And of course, what's also nice about the 1 ammo per shot consumption is that the Omen also has the highest damage reload for a Meteor shotgun, so it's possible to get 9 projectiles or 9 bullets thrown at an enemy when you perform a Meteor reload with the Omen. If you'd like to get an Omen, you will have to kill the Ancient Dragons of Destruction in Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep DLC in Ultimate Vault Hunter mode. Number 3. The Tattler. The Tattler's sister weapon is the legendary Bandit Slagga SMG. Unlike the Slagga, which is primarily designed to slag enemies, the Tattler is a great weapon to deal a lot of damage with, and might just be one of the best SMGs in Borderlands 2, especially on Maya the Siren. The Tattler has high base damage and great ammo consumption, as it fires 3 projectiles at the cost of 1. And like the Seraphim, the Tattler has mediocre accuracy and slow-moving projectiles, which makes it difficult to hit targets at a significant distance. It's also kind of interesting in that it always spawns with a melee attachment. The Tattler is obtained in Ultimate Vault Hunter mode as a rare drop from Hyperius the Invincible. If you do like SMGs, I think you're gonna like the Tattler. Number 2. The Lead Storm. So this might be a surprise to some people that I included this, as I'm known as someone that really hates Vladov spinning gun barrels on my assault rifles. However, the Lead Storm is like a weird cross between the Hail assault rifle, which by the way is one of my favorite assault rifles, and the Shreddifier, which happens to be the Lead Storm's legendary sister weapon. Like the Hail, after a certain distance, the initial projectile splits. However, unlike the Hail, which splits into 2 projectiles after a certain distance, the Lead Storm splits into 3 projectiles after a certain distance. And what's also nice is that these projectiles are unlisted, so they get full amp damage if you're using a B shield or just any amp shield in general. The Lead Storm is a great assault rifle to use for raid boss fights once you get a handle on gauging the proper distance to your target, and is recommended on everyone from Salvador to Axton and beyond. Pick one up from Veracitus if you're interested. Number 1. The Interfacer. It's probably not a huge surprise that the Interfacer would be number 1 on this list, but both the Interfacer and its sister weapon, the legendary Hyperion Conference Call Shotgun, are incredible weapons for their high critical hit modifiers. The Interfacer is accurate, has a high projectile count, and as mentioned earlier, has a very high critical hit modifier. The only drawback to the Interfacer is that it has relatively high ammo consumption, and unless you play Salvador the Gunzerker, it may be difficult to replenish your ammo fast enough. The best Seraph weapon in the game is also very difficult to obtain, as it only drops from Veracitus the Invincible in Ultimate Vault Hunter mode. If you can, pick one up, you won't regret it. Anyway guys, that's going to pretty much wrap up this particular video. If you liked this video, please be sure to leave a like, and as always, take care and I'll see y'all next time.